Okay, and the last video I'm going to do today is for how to do your name badges. And this is a good one because if you have those 8 per sheet Avery labels that are perforated already, you can set this up however you want. You can include a schedule for the student. You can pretty much put whatever fields you want on these name badges. It's pretty slick. So I'm going to go to conference reports, before scoring reports, and name badges. Okay, now this is set up, thank you again to Krista Anderson for figuring out all these margins. But essentially, this is set up for those 8 badges, the Avery labels that we emailed you about earlier. So if you hang on to these settings and put them into your settings, it will make life easier for you. The font sizes, these are based on like HTML font size. 1 is super small, 7 is the largest format for fonts. And you can set it up which of the 5 lines that you want to include. Okay, so I'm going to just keep everything as default. She's included the ID, the participant name, their schedule with their location included. There's a drop-down menu for the things that you're allowed to choose. And then from the inches on the top of the card, you can specify how low that they sit. Now, if you wanted to print like a DECA logo on the top of the name badge, you have to be mindful of that and most likely have to go ahead and make changes based on that. If you wanted to put custom text like, say, room, and then have the event schedule put there for the room or whatever, again, mess around with this and see what works for you. You can sort them by participant ID, which is essentially in alphabetical order, or you could go by name or school name. Obviously, you can do this by schools. I'm going to do one school at a time just to show you how this works. And then you can come in and either do all of them all at once or add specific ones to the queue. So the kid that loses their ID, you can add them to the queue and print one at a time. You can do it that way as well. You can specify which events if you want, participant types, and so forth. So I'm going to print the name badges, and it's going to go ahead and put it into a PDF, my friend the PDF, and put them in order by whatever parameters I set up. So I had it go by ID in school. You can see that the student's name is a little bit larger. The ID is essentially the same size, and then their schedule is set up where their role play is, what the date is, where they're going, and so forth at a little bit of a smaller font. There's 8 per page. The margins are set up already, and on this particular report, there are 11 for this one school. So that's pretty easy to do. Next thing I'm going to show you guys is how to do labels if you wanted to do it that way. I know we used to print their names on the front and then generate labels, and then they could stick them to the back of their name badges or whatever. So I'll show you how to do that. It's pretty simple. Conference reports, before scoring reports, and then labels. Again, you can set up all of these parameters. Clearly, these already are set up based on what she set up as her defaults. I don't want to mess around with that. She has the line of participant ID, the event abbreviation, the interview times, and so forth. You can set this up by who is disqualified. You can not include them, the team label only, all of these parameters. Obviously, please practice this and take a look at what you're capable of doing before you commit to printing to, the stickers and so forth, because those are pretty expensive. When you click print labels, again, it will generate a PDF based on what you specified. There's 31 pages to this report, so it did separate pages for each of the events, it looks like. So here's ADC, here's ASM, here's BFS, and so on. It includes the names of the team, their ID combined together, and where their role play is and what section they're in and so forth. So that's pretty slick as well. The days of exporting stuff to Excel and then manipulating a mail merge are over if you use the software to help you with this stuff. Now, I've done it a couple of times here. I wish this was on a new tab. Make sure that you hit the back browser button when you're done. Otherwise, you're going to have to log back in or go back and start the process over. So that's how that works. And this is Dura, but I'm going to say it out loud. if you're going to include schedules on these labels, your schedules need to be complete. If you make any changes to them, however you print the labels out are going to reflect what the schedule currently said. So keep that in mind. I believe that's everything that I have. If you have any questions on how to do this, by all means, you know where to find me. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.